Now, Manny has a lot of experience, at the highest level and competing at the highest level, and that makes this that much more interesting. But like I said before, there's no blueprint on how to beat Floyd Mayweather, and he can tell you that himself.
He's older than me. I'm still young, so and I'm always active with this sport. So what I have done and accomplished in boxing, I think it's one of a kind, because to get a different weight division is not that easy. I'm just saying this to repeat, you might forget that accomplishment. So to be the greatest boxer in the world is to know how to of course be compassionate and to show the people that you're really a fighter.
Well, I don't. Everybody, we all live our lives the way we want to live our lives. Everyone in this room have family, have friends. But when it comes to this, when it comes to boxing and competing and being the best, I'm not here to talk about what you did on the outside. I'm not here to talk about what nobody else did on the outside. I'm not here to talk about your personal life.
The boxing world is buzzing. A blockbuster rematch between Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao is gaining serious momentum, and the numbers attached to it are almost too big to believe. Their first fight generated over $600 million. Now, the question is, can the sequel top it?
You know what's going on inside that square circle? I'm the best. No matter how you rate it, no matter how you cut it, no matter how you slice it, no matter if you go to 100 years back, 300 years back, all the way to now, there's only one best, and that's Floyd Mayweather.
Manny Pacquiao believed the timing couldn't be more perfect. With Mayweather signaling a return from retirement and Pacquiao himself feeling sharp and ready, the Filipino legend says this is the moment the world has been waiting for, and he wants in.
Why is now, 11 years after the first fight, why is now the right time for this rematch?
It just happened that I'm still active in boxing, and he come out from retirement, so and he decided to do it again. So this is it. Like I'm so excited for.
It's official. Netflix has confirmed one of the most anticipated rematches in sports history: Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao, set for September 19th, 2026. The announcement sent shockwaves through the boxing community, and fans around the world are already expecting something truly historic.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Manny Pacquiao will rematch coming up this year, September 19th in Las Vegas at the Sphere. 11 years after their first fight in May of 2015, that still holds the record for the biggest pay-per-view of all time in the world of boxing and the biggest gate ever for a boxing event. But the platform is not Showtime Boxing, not Paramount Plus, not DAZN. The platform will be Netflix.
Mark the date, September 19th, 2026, Las Vegas, the Sphere. Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao will share a ring once again, 11 years after their legendary first encounter. That 2015 fight still holds a record as the biggest pay-per-view event in boxing history and the highest grossing gate ever. And this time, it won't be on Showtime, it won't be on Paramount Plus. It's on Netflix.
And this fight comes 11 years after their first fight in 2015, which, like I mentioned, is still the biggest pay-per-view to date in the world of boxing. The most pay-per-view buys, followed by Mayweather versus McGregor, as well as the biggest gate. And honestly, that first fight, I was there in person. I lived it. I followed Manny around pretty much the whole entire camp. The buzz and the buildup for it has still been unmatched. Even that fight week, the buzz and the buildup is still unmatched. Like, the amount of press members that went to cover that fight that week, usually they set up a press room, and that press room was freaking packed the first day we got there, which was on a Tuesday. Still, I've been to hundreds and hundreds of fights, the biggest fights, and I've been doing this for a long time now. That's still the amount of attention, the amount of buzz has yet to be matched. In case you needed to be reminded, Manny and Floyd fought back in May of 2015, and what was literally, and this word gets used over and over again, fight of the century. All these other fights that have happened since this Mayweather Pacquiao fight, and they try to label themselves fight of the century, it's all cap. It doesn't matter. This literally, Mayweather and Pacquiao, the first fight, was the fight of the century. I got photos, I got videos, I got texts from people in San Diego, in other cities, waiting outside of bars. They were outside in the streets, huddled together, trying to watch the fight, not even in the bars, in the establishments. So that tells you like how big that fight was back in 2015.
To understand just how massive this rematch is, you have to go back to 2015. Their first fight wasn't just a boxing match. It was a cultural event. It shattered pay-per-view records, broke revenue milestones, and captured the attention of the entire world. Floyd Mayweather walked away the winner, but the moment belonged to everyone who witnessed it. It transcended sport and became a piece of history.
It's going to be in the Sphere. It's going to be a first-of-its-kind event. The last time you and Mayweather stepped into a ring, it was 2015, over a decade ago. Is there anything you can learn from that fight heading into September's bout?
Oh yeah, I learned a lot on that fight. Way back 2015, I think we become mature right now and how to handle it, and like, you know, I hope that it will not happen again, like the way it is last 2015. You know, it's the experience is like not really 100%, but I'm hoping for this time around no more excuses, especially to my condition and also for everything. Like I'm so excited and ready to the fight.
Manny Pacquiao isn't stepping into this rematch blind. He studied that 2015 fight carefully, learned from it, and says it's made him a smarter, more prepared fighter. Both men have grown. Both men have matured. And Pacquiao believed this time around will be a very different story.
Manny, you mentioned not being 100% the first time around. I think it was a shoulder, right? Was it a shoulder issue that you were fighting through, popped up during training? To the fans who are excited about this, but a little bit worried about another injury coming up, because we're all 11 years older than we were back in 2015. To them and their concerns, you say what?
Well, both of us are disciplined fighters, so him and me, we taking care of our body, and we always work out almost every day and playing basketball like that. So right now I still can fight. Like I feel like I'm still young. I mean, yeah. Nothing changed.
There's one chapter from 2015 that Manny Pacquiao has never been able to close, and it still haunts the legacy of that first fight. Pacquiao has openly admitted that he walked into the biggest fight of his career carrying a serious right shoulder injury sustained during training. It limited his punching ability, altered his game plan, and left millions of fans wondering, what if he had been fully healthy?
Watch it. I step back like I have my distance. That's why I step. See, I have my distance. Fighters don't know their distance. You gotta know your distance.
Meanwhile, Floyd Mayweather isn't wasting any time. After nearly a decade away from serious competition, money is back in the gym, and he's making sure the world knows it. Training footage has surfaced showing a focused, sharp Mayweather, working on his craft and preparing to end his retirement in a way only he can.
Yo, Tim that Storm Bradley, you already know the damn rest. Look, I just got notice that Manny Pacquiao Mayweather about to go back at it in September. So a lot of guys coming out of retirement getting that Netflix money. Netflix is willing to pay for content, man, especially if you're popular. You know, they did Jake Paul. Jake Paul opened his damn door. Gotta give it up for him. He opened his door. And Mike Tyson. They've done other events as well. You know, Katie Taylor and Serrano as well. However, I was thinking De La Hoya was next. De La Hoya, you coming out of retirement? Clap back Thursdays. Nah, bring your ass out of retirement, big dog. For real.
Former world champion Timothy Bradley Jr. has never been shy about sharing his opinion. And when it comes to this rematch, he's keeping it real. In Bradley's eyes, Netflix is writing a very large check for very compelling content. And at the end of the day, this fight is about entertainment and money, not a burning need to settle a rivalry.
When people say the biggest fight in boxing history, you know, if you don't adjust for inflation, et cetera, or tickets sold, et cetera, you know, Joe Louis and Max Schmeling, the rematch, Ali and Frazier, the first fight, these were the biggest fights in boxing history. But Mayweather and Pacquiao was easily the biggest fight of its era, of the generation. And it was the highest grossing fight of all time.
Sure.
Because it 4.4 million pay-per-view buys at $100 a pop. Do the math, right? It's interesting because Netflix is obviously in the business of, you said, eventizing. Everyone, they want enormous events that become shared experiences. In a way, in this day and age, partly because of delivery systems of content like Netflix, everything is so niche. You know, everything is so compartmentalized that there's very few shared experiences. It's one of the reasons that the NFL is such a big deal, because the NFL can get tens of millions of people to watch the same thing at the same time.
This fight represents a massive shift in how big events are delivered to audiences, rather than the traditional pay-per-view model. Netflix brings something different to the table: a global subscription base, worldwide reach, and the ability to turn a boxing match into a shared cultural moment. Between sponsorships, merchandise, and millions of new subscribers, the commercial machine behind this event is unlike anything boxing has seen before.
Guy's got a gambling problem. Of course his situation's unstable. I mean, this is about as predictable as anything I could imagine. Steve, how old is Floyd at this point?
47, and he has not had a real fight since 2015 when he beat Berto. Then he had the foray against Conor McGregor 2017, and he's done some exhibitions. And I don't know if you know this, Jason, but he actually made an official announcement with a press release. I'm unretiring. Get this. After my exhibition with Mike Tyson in April.
I heard this, yeah.
So that's in the Congo, Rumble in the Jungle Part 2. But yeah, it's for the money. If you, just Google Floyd's name and the IRS. All the news is out there. He owes jewelers money. There's back paid rent for real estate in New York. It's clear that he is now part of the no money team, which is very ironic. And why is he doing this?
Not everyone is convinced that Floyd Mayweather is coming back for the love of competition. Many fans and analysts believe his motivation has far more to do with money than glory. His track record of high-paying exhibition bouts and his well-documented lavish lifestyle have led many to suggest that for Mayweather, the ring has simply become the most profitable place to be.
Gentlemen, a couple of things. If you look at the article on Boxing Scene, something doesn't smell right about it. A couple of things that don't smell right is it's 10 years after the fact. There are an army of attorneys, lawyers, accountants making sure boxers get paid at Floyd's level. And the idea that Floyd could be in a position where he's starting to run out of money and is looking for a reason that this money isn't his anymore. Paulie, what the first thing that jumps out at you about this amount, about the timing, about everything about this lawsuit, what jumps to your mind first, Paulie, when you think about it, as a boxer on the inside?
What jumps to my mind first is probably the beginning is the 10 years later.
Yeah, same.
I'm very curious about, you know, I don't want to say the veracity, because obviously that's the strong word to use in this situation, because this may or may not have.
And the financial questions surrounding Floyd, Mayweather don't stop there. Mayweather is reportedly at the center of a major lawsuit involving his own financial affairs. According to reports, Floyd has taken legal action against his longtime advisor Al Heyman and Showtime Sports, alleging that a scheme was orchestrated that cost him hundreds of millions of dollars. It's a story that has raised serious eyebrows, and for many, it helps explain why Mayweather keeps returning to the ring.
There's a huge announcement that's come today, official now. Floyd Mayweather returns to the ring against Manny Pacquiao in the rematch. What did you think about that fight?
I don't think anyone was expecting that, was they? Seems like things can happen very quickly.
Was it correct that you were in talks with Manny Pacquiao at one point? How far did they get?
I mean, you didn't see Sean Gibbons then call me out like I don't know how many times, all that stuff, right? It just, it's complicated. I'm gonna beat him again.
The fighter community is weighing in, and the consensus is leaning heavily in one direction. Raleigh Romero is among those who believe Floyd Mayweather handles business again in the rematch, pointing to Mayweather's elite defensive skills and unmatched ring experience as reasons why Pacquiao faces an enormous challenge. That view is shared by none other than Conor McGregor, who has also publicly backed Mayweather to win. The narrative building around this fight is clear. Floyd's unbeaten record and tactical brilliance make him the favorite, even if the event itself is as much about spectacle as it is about sport.
See, one thing about Mayweather you have to understand is he's always taken care of himself. Like, his body, physically, mentally, he's always been very sharp and always staying in the gym and doing something physically, right? That's the big advantage he has. I mean, he's an athlete. He's a world-class athlete. Watching Pacquiao's last fight, yeah, you kind of feel bad. You kind of feel bad for him, and even though he did win and he did, I guess, pull off a surprise in his last fight with a draw against the world champion, but still, you tend to kind of like feel bad because it's not the same Pacquiao. It's definitely not the same Pacquiao I faced. That's for sure. The one that put me on my stool in the 9th round. And, if they make it a real fight with the real rules, then yeah, it's an okay night for boxing.
Who would you back? Who do you think would win it? If it's a real fight, because that's what Pacquiao wants, it seems.
Yeah, I think Mayweather will. I think Mayweather will take it. Yeah.
David Benavidez. Oscar De La Hoya knows Floyd Mayweather better than most. He's been in the ring with him, and when De La Hoya speaks about this rematch, he speaks with authority. In his view, Mayweather's defensive genius remains a decisive factor. His ability to make punches miss, control the distance, and dictate the pace of a fight has made him virtually untouchable throughout his entire career. Add to that his razor-sharp ring intelligence, the ability to read opponents, exploit weaknesses, and adjust in real time, and you have a fighter who is incredibly difficult to beat under any circumstances.
What do you think about there's reports saying that Floyd may do a professional fight?
What did you say?
There's word that potentially Floyd might come out and do a professional fight.
Oh yeah?
What's your thoughts on it as a fan?
I mean, as a fan, I feel like I see what they're doing. They see like the influencers just turned it into like, I'm not gonna say a whole circus show, but I feel like they see if these people can come in here and make all this money, then why can't the legends of boxing do that? I feel like they're all the legends of boxing looking at it like that. And I don't have a problem with them coming back and fighting, but I mean, it's not as exciting as it once was, you know what I mean? I mean, Floyd Mayweather, but who is he gonna fight? I mean, unless he fights Pacquiao again, I would love to see that.
How do you think a Pacquiao-Floyd rematch would go?
I don't know, but I would love to see it. I mean, if Floyd Mayweather is still who he is, I think Floyd Mayweather will win. But I don't know, we have to see. You know, they're both older guys. I think Floyd is 50. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to disrespect in any type of way, but he's a 50-year-old man. You know what I mean? Pacquiao is a 48-year-old man.
De La Hoya went further, pointing to something that goes beyond physical skill. Mayweather's experience at the absolute highest level of the sport. Floyd has faced the best fighters of his era and has never cracked under pressure. While De La Hoya holds deep respect for Pacquiao's legendary speed and knockout power, he believes Floyd's combination of ironclad defense, brilliant strategy, and championship-level composure makes him the clear favorite to win this fight, just as he did the first time.
On one end, the cynical side of me goes, wait, what? Why? They fought the first time, okay? Like that chapter was closed. We got a definitive winner. It was Floyd. Floyd definitively won. The fight wasn't as competitive as we all thought it was. And that's that, right? Even though Manny did say after the fight that he suffered a shoulder injury prior to that and that he couldn't really use his shoulder too much. But it's it's a strange time that we're in right now in boxing with some of these fights that we're getting. The reason why I'm a little mixed is, that's the cynical side of me, but the other side of me is a little bit partial to Manny in terms of what I just listed right there with the shoulder injury. He went into that fight with the biggest pay-per-view of all time, the biggest probably viewing audience of all time in terms of a fight. And that wasn't the best Manny we
David Benavidez doesn't sugarcoat things, and his take on this rematch is no different. While he holds Manny Pacquiao in the highest regard as one of the greatest fighters to ever lace up a pair of gloves, Benavidez is realistic about what age does to even the most gifted athletes. At 47, Pacquiao is not the explosive, relentless force that once terrorized every weight class he entered. And on the other side, Mayweather's legendary footwork, unmatched ring IQ, and perfect professional record still loom very large.
Its unbeaten record and the professional status of the bout add any intrigue to this at all?
No. Not really. I don't think so. I mean, Manny Pacquiao's had a fight recently, hasn't he, against Mario Barris, who's just lost his title to Ryan Garcia, deservedly so. And that was a draw in which most people saw Pacquiao at the end of his career, saw what was left of him, and were not too happy that he came back again. Floyd Mayweather has had a variety of different bouts. I mean, I hear that he's going to fight Mike Tyson. I don't understand what that thinking is. Or an exhibition. We've seen him fight and hold up Conor McGregor in an exhibition fight. It's Netflix building entertainment models around sport. Sport is entertainment. It crosses over. Netflix have got a proven model of success that ultimately they invest some money into these sort of things, whether it's Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson or Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. They look at their lifetime value of their average subscriber, not every subscriber, but their average subscriber, and then they multiply it by the amount of subscribers they think they're going to get as new ones, and they make a commercial decision.
From a purely sporting standpoint, many boxing analysts are asking a straightforward question. Do we really need this rematch? The first fight had a definitive result. Mayweather controlled it from the opening bell, winning a unanimous decision on all three judges' scorecards. There was no controversy, no robbery, no disputed outcome. Critics also point out that despite generating hundreds of millions of dollars, the fight itself never delivered the fireworks fans were promised. Mayweather's defensive brilliance essentially neutralized everything Pacquiao tried to do. And with both men now well past their primes, many feel the sport simply doesn't require a second chapter.
People win, Mike Tyson or Floyd Mayweather?
It depends. If Mike Tyson will train hard, then...
Do you think it will happen?
Just one punch.
We thought you were fighting Floyd. What happened with the Floyd fight? We thought you were fighting Floyd. What happened in the rematch? You thought you were having a rematch with Floyd.
Oh, just we'll see. We'll announce.
The stage is set. Two legends, one unfinished story. Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao will meet again, and the world will be watching. Can Pacquiao find what was missing in 2015 and pull off one of the greatest upsets in boxing history? Or is Mayweather's defensive mastery simply too much for anyone to overcome at any age? The answer comes September 19th. Drop your prediction in the comments. We want to know what you think.